Hi friends, welcome back to Solutions with Satvik. So today's solution is how to select your lucky mobile number, and I will also explain which mobile numbers you should completely avoid. So watch very carefully. So there are 4 or 5 criteria when we talk about selecting a lucky mobile number. First and foremost criteria is what should be the total. When I say total, in India there are 10 digits in each mobile number. So if you add all the 10 digits, you will get a double digit number, right? That double digit number has to be a good number. We call that as compound number in numerology. Okay, so let's say I'm reading in a number 66 355 355 If this is the mobile number, if you add all the 10 digits, the total comes to 50. So that number, the double digit number, like in this mobile number case, it is 50. You can also see that number on your screen, right? Has to be a good compound number. Now, how do you know that? Obviously, for that, you should know numerology, right? So that is the first and foremost criteria. Now, which are the numbers which are not lucky or very unlucky? Note down. I will again, I am mentioning that on the screen. If when you add all the 10 digits of your mobile number, if the total is one of this number, that means you should change that mobile number immediately. Very difficult to get 22 because if you add, generally it goes beyond 30, 35, 40. But if there are a lot of zeros, you may get that. So 22, avoid. 29, completely avoid. 35, avoid. 38, avoid. Unless you want to get into spirituality and that kind of religious activities, 38 should be avoided. Worst possible numbers are 26, 44 and 48. I repeat, worst possible numbers are 26, 44 and 48. If the total comes to one of this, you will have a lot of problems. Other numbers which will give you negative results are 53, 57, 68, 71, 80. So a lot of 84 also, right? So when you add all the numbers, that is the 10 digits in the mobile number, the total has to be lucky. And all the numbers which I just read, which I just mentioned, if your total number is one of them, means the total number of your mobile number is one of that, avoid that and choose a better mobile number. That's criteria number 1. Criteria number 2, when you add those 2 digits, you get a single digit number, right? For example, in this number, which I am mentioning on the screen, which I told 50, if you add 5 plus 0 becomes again 5. So that single digit number has to be your lucky number. Instead of 50, if let's say there is one more mobile number and the total is, let's say, 55. And if you add 55, that is 5 plus 5 becomes 1. 10, that is 1, right? So in that situation, 1 has to be your lucky number. So when you add that double digit number, you get a single digit number. That single digit number has to be one of your lucky number. This is criteria number 2. Criteria number 1, total double digit number has to be a good compound number. And when you add those, single digit should be one of your lucky number. This is criteria number 2. Criteria number 3. So obviously there are 10 digits, right? As much as possible, those 10 digits has to be your lucky numbers. How do you know whether you know or which are your lucky numbers? So obviously you should consult a numerologist. But if you know for some reasons, then ensure you only your lucky numbers reflect in that 10 digits. But very difficult, you may say. So sometimes if there are a couple of numbers which are not lucky, it is fine. But as much as possible, you should ensure that in that 10 digit mobile number, if not all, at least 7 to 8 should be your lucky numbers. So I read that number, right? 66 355 355 66. If you see that number, there are only three numbers, 3, 5 and 6. So now you may try to understand how it is calculated. So all the 10 digits are 3 or 5 or 6, and total also adds to 50. And which is what are the lucky numbers of the customer? 3, 5 and 6. This is how a perfect mobile number is selected. So the criteria number 3, ensure all the 10, if not all the 10, at least 7, 8 are as maximum as possible lucky numbers. Sometimes neutral number may also reflect, but ensure as minimum as possible your unlucky numbers should be there in your 10 digits mobile number. This is criteria number 3. First one was double digit, okay, compound number. Second one is single digit. It has to be a lucky number. Third one is as much as possible lucky numbers or neutral number should be there, 10 digits number. Now, a lot of people believe that 248 should not be there in a mobile number. To some extent, it is true, okay, but I have my own take because every number is important in life. 2 is very important for people who are in creative field. If you are a digital marketer, if you are a designer, right, if you're an actor, celebrity who is into basically arts and, as I said, acting, modeling, etc., then 2 is important along with 6. So for those professions you can afford to have 2, right? But 4 and 8 ideally you should avoid. Okay, so as much as possible try to avoid 4 and 8. Okay, so in your mobile number, a lot of people also say 0 should not be there. Okay, less number of zeros better for the overall mobile number. To some extent, again, I agree here. Okay, but if there are a couple of zeros in between, it's fine. But in the end, generally people say it will get watered down. That means whatever are the good vibrations, it will get diluted if zeros appear at the end. Okay, so again, very difficult to prove that, but if you can avoid, try to avoid zeros at the end. But 1 or 2 in the middle is fine, but don't have too many zeros in your mobile number. That is something I definitely suggest very strongly. So, why it is important, right? Because today, everything you do on your mobile, right from your financial transactions, all your businesses, your personal relationships, right, including watching certain content, everything is done on mobile. So especially if you are doing your financial transactions like your wallets and etc., if that mobile number is linked to your bank account and other, especially bank account, and if that mobile number happens to be a business number, then definitely you need to take care of all the 5 criteria what I just mentioned, and then choose a good mobile number, because this is the second most important number in numerology. First one is your name number, mobile number is your second most important number. So hope this video is useful for you to select a good lucky number or a lucky mobile number for yourself. So keep watching Solutions with Satvik. Have a great life. See you in the next video.